Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. It's a great opportunity to be able to speak here today at the World Energy Transition Summit. And it's a true pleasure to be among such a distinguished and diverse audience. Allow me to introduce myself again. I'm Jasim Thabet, and I lead the Abu Dhabi National Energy Company, also known as TAQA. We are one of the largest utilities in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa in terms of market cap, and the largest utility company in the United Arab Emirates, where you may know the next COP will take place. We look forward to hosting many of you at what I'm sure will be a pivotal COP. I'd like to reflect on two themes we've heard throughout the summit: the imperative of action and the significance of collaboration. Firstly, in the context of action, just recently, the first global stocktake report on climate action reminded all of us that while the world has made energy transition progress, we're still falling far short of what is required. The question is now, how should the global energy community respond? As a major international utility company and a significant energy provider in the UAE, TAQA is stepping up to this challenge. As the UAE Minister, His Excellency Suhail, mentioned earlier today, the UAE is reshaping the energy leadership for a low-carbon era as it transitions to net zero, and TAQA is doing the same. Together with our partners, we're officially inaugurating one of the world's largest single-site solar PV plants in a couple of weeks. At full capacity, the 2 gigawatt power plant will produce enough power for over 300,000 households. And it's not only the scale, it is highly competitive at 1.3 US cents per kilowatt hour, a world record when we reach financial close on this project. At the same time, we're channeling our global renewable ambitions through our controlling stake in the renewable power business of Abu Dhabi Future Energy Company, Masdar. Alongside the other shareholders, we're committed to making Masdar one of the world leaders in renewable energy with 100 gigawatt capacity by 2030. However, allow me to be clear with you that TAQA, much like the UAE, is a genuine case study of the energy transition in action. We continue to own and manage oil and gas assets outside of the UAE internationally. We know our customers still need this energy, and we do everything we can to be responsible and an efficient supplier. But we are under no illusion to reach net zero by 2050, as we are committed to do so. We must have clean alternatives in place, and our investment outlook is dominated by the pursuit of low-carbon future. This transition is a significant and an urgent undertaking, and we must recognize its complexity. Fundamentally, it must be an energy transition that delivers a win-win, a win for the planet, but also a win for our communities and economies. And to succeed, what we need is a pragmatic solutions delivered at speed. When I say pragmatism, pragmatism in this context should not be misinterpreted by compromising ambition. By pragmatic, I mean there's simple no time for vested interest or ideologies. We should not choose between wind, solar, nuclear, carbon capture, thermal, geothermal, hydrogen. The global energy transition requires an all-of-the-above approach, including measures to bolster energy security in the near term. Let us accept what needs to be done, country by country, to maintain stability in our energy systems today as we build a cleaner, more equitable energy system for the future. This is the approach the UAE is adapting, and is also the approach TAQA is pursuing. We can find remarkable examples of this pragmatism in action worldwide. The US, for instance, in this ambitious goal of achieving carbon-free power sector by 2035 is supported by enabling policies and incentives which have shown real leadership. Specifically, the Inflation Reduction Act has triggered real investment and is helping untangle the complexities of transitioning to a power system. There's much work ahead of us. Re-engineering our power system for a low-carbon age requires us to literally rewire it with an investment of at least $21 trillion in the grid by 2050 to support net zero. Also, aligning with net zero pathways needs a 300% increase in total renewable capacity by 2030. In the UAE, much of our water comes from energy-intensive seawater desalination. And as TAQA, we produce over 1 billion gallons of water per day. And to reduce our emissions and conserve energy, we're transitioning to super efficient reverse osmosis technology in place of the traditional desalination methods. Before I move on, I want to zoom in on transmission, because I'm not exaggerating when I say there can be no transition without transmission. Utility scale power generation is typically located far from populated areas. So moving electricity to urban areas is a crucial step. Here too, we are investing in transmission. Earlier this year, TAQA invested in X-Links, an ambitious project to connect renewable power generation in Morocco directly to the UK through a 3,800 kilometer high voltage subsea cable, the longest in the world once completed. We want to see others invest in such first-of-a-kind projects that will really help us rewire the world. And utilities everywhere must work closely with regulators, policymakers, and investors to bring private sector funding for infrastructure, not only to increase transmission and distribution networks capacities, but also to modernize networks that we have to make sure they are resilient to the increased number of extreme weather events that we're seeing around the world in the face of climate change. With so much to do, I believe COP28 presents the inclusive, pragmatic, action-oriented platform that we need to adjust our course. Given the scale of the challenge, nothing short of maximum cooperation will do. Therefore, in closing, I extend an invitation to each and one of you here today. Let us collaborate, innovate, and write this new chapter of the energy transition together. From the heart of the UAE and on behalf of TAQA, thank you very much.